Hey, we are back on the Silverfox Hustle podcast with me, Shasi, and my guest today is none other than Hariss Harun. We had a little bit of chat before we came on for this part two, and I have to say congratulations, Hariss, because you want to announce something.
The third one is coming.
So the,
Uh,
the the third one, which is also going to be a boy, right? The first one is a boy, the second one is a girl, and then now the third one.
yeah,
Congratulations, Hariss. One more
thank
to the
you. Yeah.
family. Maybe you can form a seven-a-side team soon. Yeah.
Working on it, working on it.
Okay, let's talk about your NFA days. For those of you at home who are not sure what that is the National Football
Yeah.
Academy, which is set up in Singapore. Now, how was that, and how were you spotted for the NFA team?
Um, how I was spotted, I'm not too sure because at that point of time in Sec 1, I was 13 years old. I was playing for school, St. Gabriel Secondary, and also I was playing in Home United's youth program under Yaakob Hashim then, and also for the COE zone. So I was playing
Yeah.
for the South zone. So I
Okay.
was playing a lot of games in when I was 12, 13 years old. So I think somebody recommended, and I think my coach, the coach who picked me, Kadi Yaya,
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
going around and looking at a lot of players. So he picked me. So actually, he picked me and a couple of my batch mates for a
Okay.
year older than us. So we were with the 89 batch. I'm from the 90 batch. So we
Okay.
played with the 89 batch for a year earlier. So
Okay.
that's how I got into NFA. So I was 14 years old playing in the under 15
So so
level.
so
Yeah.
you started playing in the so-called national setup since when you were 14, right?
For
Since you were
14 years,
14.
yeah.
So
Yes.
your NFA days from 14, 15, 16, I think, or was it
Yeah.
17? Were you always
Six. Yeah.
under the same coach or different
Yes,
coaches?
I was only under Kadi. I was under
Okay.
Kadi for 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah. Under 15, 2 years, and under 16, 1 year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me about Kadiyaya because when I played last in the S League was in 2003, and by that time he was already retired at Geylang, and he was my
Yeah.
assistant coach, as in the assistant coach for
Yeah.
Geylang when I was playing.
Yeah.
Uh, I find him as a true football person, right?
Yeah.
Because he knows everything from A to Z, especially if you're
Yes.
talking about
Yes.
fitness and tactics
Yeah.
wise, and he's
Yeah.
got this knowledge of
Yes.
football. How was he
Yeah.
like?
He's just amazing. I think like from what I have now in terms of how I think of football or what I believe about how you carry yourself on and off the
Yeah.
field is 80-90% is all down to him. A lot of things that I learned from him or how he instilled in the group of boys that he uh took during my NFA batch, under 40, under 15, under
Yeah.
16 batch. So I think 80-90% a lot of things I learned from him, and I still keep it with me till day. And you know how he is as a
Yeah.
person, as a
Yeah.
player. He's no nonsense. Uh but
Any no nonsense stories like
yeah, definitely. I think for me personally, I do have. I think some people must have heard because I mentioned this couple of times to the media already. How he sent me back from a friendly match once.
oh, I
I'm
didn't
not
hear
sure whether
this.
you heard that.
No, what
Yeah.
happened,
So
please?
I was captain. He just made me captain. It was my second year in NFA under
Yeah.
15. So
Yeah.
I was senior because I already had 1 year under my belt with the other age group. They went up the 89 batch. So these 90 boys,
Yeah.
1990 boys came in, and I was one of the senior players. So he made me captain. So I don't know, maybe I was like, yeah, papaya, like taking easy. Maybe I thought I was like the best player or something. And this friendly game, I remember was like 5 minutes, barely 10 minutes, maybe 5, 7 minutes. He took me off. It was at the old
Jalan Besar.
Christchurch,
Oh, Christchurch,
just
yeah.
beside Jalan Besar,
Who was
Christchurch.
this again? Was
He
this
was then. I
against
can't remember who we were playing, but it was a friendly game just before we started the season, the COE season. So he usually stands at this platform on top where he puts his video and he
Yes.
videos the games, and
Yes.
you know what I'm talking about. So
Yes.
and trainings so that he can do the analysis with us afterwards. So I remember. I think he told the assistant coach Kalai Selvan, Coach Kalai,
Yes.
take Hariss off. And I didn't hear this because I was playing, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think Kalai was like, really? So he took me off. And when I came out, I was quite surprised. So when I came off, I looked at him, and he looked at me, and he was so, his face was really like in raging, and he told me like a firm no. He said, go home. He said, go home. I was like, shit, man. What did I do? I was like, what happened?
Yeah. So
I
he
was
just sent you home
surprised.
without any reason at first.
No reason at all. Like I didn't know at that point of time. I didn't know what I did and what was wrong, and he just said go home.
Okay.
So can you imagine a 15-year-old boy? I became so demoralized. I was so sad. I started to cry. I confided in the kidman who is still the national team kidman now,
Oh
Omar.
yes, yes,
Chioma. Yeah,
yes.
so he was my kidman in NFA as well. So I confided him, and he calmed me down. He said he consoled me. He said, "I mean, it's okay. Just relax and just go home like he said, and come back the next day, and everything will be fine and everything." So I went back. I was crying. I took the bus back home to my parents' place in Hougang. We were living in Hougang, so I was crying the whole journey throughout the bus. And when I calmed myself down just before I got home, and I went into the room to see my parents. My mom was there. When I saw her, I cried again. I was like, oh, I couldn't. I was just so emotional about what happened. So that night I did some reflecting myself, like what went wrong, what happened. Like, I mean, I can't possibly be angry with Kade because I don't think it was something personal towards me. And I thought to myself that maybe I did something wrong. I didn't play well enough, or I took things for granted. I think I'm the captain. Maybe I should be showing an example. I should be leading the team. I'm not a star player or something. So that episode kind of stayed with me
So
until today.
so what was the problem?
I
Did he tell you?
When the I actually he didn't really address the issue, but I think the assistant coaches came back to me and they told me like I think he wasn't happy with how I started the game, maybe to relax, to
Your
uh
attitude, you mean? What
yes,
was
the
it?
attitude towards the game, like two legs, to
Okay.
taking things easy, that kind of thing. So and the next day, was it the next day, or the 2 days after, we had another gym session or meeting in the briefing room, and he and all of us were there, and I was so scared. I was sitting behind, and he told me, "Okay, guys, put your hands together. Welcome the new player, Hariss." And I was like, I was like, what? And okay, everybody was like, "Hey, welcome," and, clapping hands and making fun of me and everything. And he was smiling, and I was like, okay, I felt a little bit better. But we just move on from there. I didn't want to know what was the reason, but behind the scenes I heard from the kidman, from the assistant coach, he wasn't happy with how I started the game, and I was two legs
So
and
it
blah blah
wasn't.
blah.
So nothing has to be said. You knew it yourself within you that
Yes,
there
I knew
was.
it. I knew it from myself. Yeah,
But
so I knew that I had to improve on these things, and I cannot afford to be relaxed. Yeah,
this could have gone either way. If this
yeah,
had happened to someone who was, I don't know, probably softer, or
yeah,
that
yeah,
could have killed that player. But you
yeah,
were stronger, and even though you cried,
yeah,
it doesn't matter
yeah,
because you knew there was
yeah,
something wrong, and you you
yeah,
you got up and running again. So that was good
yeah,
on your part. So for those of you who don't already know Kade, yeah, you know him now. uh,
yeah.
uh, you know, w- what was or what happened to the other players in the same batch that you played in the NFA? Can you name me some names who were in that same batch?
Actually, quite a number of us made it to play in the S League.
Okay,
The likes of we know Izwan
okay,
Mahbud.
okay,
He's one of
okay.
our top
Yes,
goalkeepers. Then Hafiz Sujat, who plays in Hougang. Afiq
okay,
Yunus.
yes,
Izzdin Shafiq is still playing with Lion City Sailors.
okay,
We had Gabriel Quek. Gabriel Quek also was
yeah.
on my from my batch. And who else can I
So not too bad.
remember?
The group of
Yeah, not too
players,
bad. I
quite
think
quite quite
I
a
counted
large
before.
number.
I think we had at least 6, 7 players who made it all the way through.
which
So
is which is very good
yeah,
because if you look at history and not only in Singapore, in every parts of the world, you look
yeah,
at
yeah.
the youth setup, and then when they go up, not
Mhm.
a lot of them will actually make it into
Yes,
the
yes.
professional league. So I think
I
that
think,
yeah.
yeah, I think from my batch it was quite decent. The only problem from my batch was we didn't have a deadly striker, somebody who was a
Ah,
striker in the striker's
okay,
mode, striker's
okay,
instinct. So
yes,
I mean, I did a calculation comparison. I think before my batch, the last batch, to have this many players who made it all the way to the S League or national team was the batch of 84, whereby Sharil, Hassan
yeah,
played,
yes,
so
yes, yes, yes.
I think we didn't do too bad, just that we didn't have those, attacking
Okay,
players coming through. The attacking players we had, they just, stopped halfway and
listen.
pursued something else.
I remember. Okay, this leads to the question that I have for you. I think it was 2004 or so. I just started out as a coach, as a
Okay.
young coach in 2004, and I was taking a COE team, and then we had to play NFA, which was coached by Kadi, and you played in that game, and it was at the Jalan Besar Stadium, the old Jalan Besar
Yeah.
Stadium, and I was a new
Yeah.
coach, and I knew how strong the NFA were. I
Yeah.
totally parked the bus for
Yeah.
90 damn minutes. I parked
Was
the
it
bus.
Gombak?
Yes. No. I can't. I think it was Gomba. It was Sengkang Marine. I can't really remember. We parked
Yeah.
the bus,
Yeah.
and I think we won that game by a goal to nil or something like that. And
Okay.
that was like an achievement of sorts, because the NFA
Yeah.
was so difficult to beat. And then I spoke to
Yeah.
Kadir afterwards, and he said, it was so difficult to break down. But I went back home and I thought about it, and was this the way to play? Because
Mm.
yeah, it was a developmental
Yeah.
side, and to play, it doesn't matter who we play against, and to park the bus. So I learned from that, because Kadi was telling me, yeah, you parked the bus and you won. So what? And even at that time,
Yeah.
he was a little bit, so he was, the advice that was giving was like,
Yeah.
yeah, you won the game 1-0, so what, right?
Yeah.
And seriously, I absolutely parked the bus against you guys. Now the question, the
Yeah.
question is actually, right, even at that time, you were, I don't know, I thought that physically you were bigger. Physique wise,
Yeah.
you were bigger,
Yeah.
and you were
Yeah.
ahead of the players in terms of
Yeah.
ability. Was it always the case? How was that so?
Uh, in terms of ability, I wouldn't say so because I think we had a lot of talented players,
Yeah.
technically gifted players who were much better than me. I think in terms of physique, yes, maybe because I think I took the gym training because we had trainers from Sports Council then who would
Yes.
come and take us
Yes.
for our gym sessions. So I took the gym sessions really, really,
Yeah.
really serious, So because I was quite skinny growing up, I was tall, but I
Okay.
was skinny. But when I was hitting the gym when I was like 14, yeah, after I joined the NFA 14, 15,
Yeah,
and
that
when
probably
we had,
helped.
so I was, yeah, I was, and of course at that age where with puberty and this growth
Yeah.
spur and everything, mixed, I was a little bit ahead in terms of
Yeah.
the physical, yes.
Nice. Yeah. We move on to Sea Games, right? Yeah, I think you played in 3 Sea Games, and
Yeah, four, I think, four, nine, yeah, four. I played in four,
you played in 4, and you finished third in 3 times, or
three of
three
them,
times, right?
yeah,
2007,
yes,
2009, and 2013.
and
So you
three,
played in
13, yes.
2011 as well. You played there.
Yes, I played in 11, but we were out in the group stage.
Okay, okay. So, but you
Yeah,
had 3 bronzes. Now, what was the experience like? Because that was an so-called international tournament. Although,
yeah, I,
although it is a,
I,
yes, Southeast Asian
yeah, I
region.
think
So how was that?
yeah, it was it was really good experience because you play against players that you've been playing all along, especially from like 14, 15 years old. So you recognize some of the faces when you play, and it's a nice challenge, nice competition between us to show who's better individually and both as a team. It was particularly disappointing for us because I think in 2007 and 2013 we had two of the strongest teams. In 2007, we had the likes of Bai, Sharil,
Yes.
yeah, a lot of the players who were playing the
Yeah.
last edition, but really, really strong team. A lot of players who already won the Tiger Cup.
Mm.
But somehow we fell short. And
Yeah.
then 2013 also was the same thing. My batch, my group of boys were having our last edition, and it was pretty much the same story in '07 and 2013. But the one that surprised me was 2011 because we had a lot of young boys, and I think nobody gave us a chance, and we
Okay.
came back with the bronze. So I think the 2011 one was really, really great achievement for us.
Uh, in, like you said, I
Yeah,
think
sorry,
it.
2009, 2011 we were out from the group.
Yes.
2009,
Correct.
yeah,
Correct. You just now you said that you were disappointed. Now, to be disappointed, you actually have to have this thinking, or mentality, that you could have actually won it, right? You could have
yes,
actually won it.
yeah,
Like you said,
yeah,
2009 was a good. Sorry, 2007 or 2009 was a good squad. 2013 as well
yeah,
as a good squad.
yeah,
Now you finished third, right? Now
yeah,
third means you must have gone into the semifinals, obviously, to
yes,
have
yes,
finished third, right? And then losing,
yeah.
and then
Mm-hmm.
so obviously you thought you could have won. So what happened? Because people at home, the laymen, we just they
Yeah.
just throwing
Yeah.
criticism and say, hey, we are never ever going to win
Yeah.
something. But seriously,
Yes.
frankly, I feel that you could have won it as well. And you
Yes.
think that
Yes.
you could have won it as well. So it's just a
Yes.
matter of winning that semi-finals, and then when you
Mm-hmm.
go into the final, it is a one-off game. Anything can
Yeah.
happen. You could park the bus, you can do whatever you want to, just win the goal,
Yeah.
right? So what
Yeah.
actually was the problem, you feel?
I ironically both times when we went in 2007 and 2013, we met Thailand in the semi-finals, and both times we
Oh,
lost
so
by
that was
one
the
goal.
problem.
So I don't know. I just can't fail to compare those 2 years, because I think it was quite similar. We had really two of the strongest teams during that time. We made it to the semi-final, and I think we defied the odds in some way during the group stage. But somehow we just, I don't know, because Thailand are kingpins in,
Yeah.
especially in SEA Games football. They won so many gold medals from, I don't know, many years from the
Yes,
80s.
yes, yes.
So when you meet the Thai boys, and when you play in group stage tournaments, regional tournaments, is a tendency, it's a norm. I don't know about the boys from other countries, but in Singapore, they're like, wow, like they are so strong. They're really good, and like, wow, matila, it's a norm thing. But
So
when you get
it's
onto the
so
field, it's like
so you are trying to say it's actually a mentality problem.
it could have been a psychological problem,
Yeah.
because I remember in 2013, because in 2007 I played some games. I wasn't really a regular, but in 2013 I played all the games, and I remember in 2013 we were holding Thailand. We were doing really well. We held them. It was 0-0. We were playing counter attacking, because against the Thais, they're so good,
Yes.
technically superior.
Yes.
So we were soaking it and striking them on the counter. It worked once.
Yeah.
One of our players went one on one with Kawin, and he shot wide, and
Okay.
that could have been the turning point. But what I'm trying to say is, like, I think that had effect on us, double the effect, because we're already playing the ties, and then you waste a clear cut chance like this to get some
Yeah.
one over a superior opponent, and then
Yeah.
to make matters worse, they got a penalty right before halftime and they scored. It was
uh
1-0 going into halftime, and you know how it can be mentally and physically draining, exhausting when you soak and strike.
True.
to,
True.
to play a
True. True.
soaking game is, people think you're just sitting in front of you, but it's really a
Because you're
lot of hard
always
work to
chasing the
move, to
game. You're
look.
always chasing the game. You're chasing ball. You're
Yes, you
chasing
have to,
men without the ball.
you have to cover the space. You have to look over your shoulder,
Yeah.
look forward, look behind. So I think it took a lot out of us. But then again, I think we did well to come back both times in the third, fourth placing,
Yeah.
to make amends and bring back the consolation, which was the bronze. Yeah.
Okay. Just last one quick one before we take a short break. Yes or no? Do
Yeah.
you think we can win a gold medal in the next 10 years? Yes
Yes,
or
if
no?
we do things the right way. Yes.
Yes. Yep. Thanks very much for being positive. I think that is the way to go. We'll be right back,
Yeah.
and we will speak about the Singapore national team with Hariss Harun.